Here in Lloydminster, residents were looking to the sky this weekend as the Alberta Air Show made its first stop here in the border city. Lloydminster Airport was busy Saturday morning as crowds flocked to see all types of aircraft. Close to 40 aircraft took part, and air traffic controller Dina James says this tour is meant to encourage new people to learn to fly, but also allows Lloydminster to showcase its airport.
So now we're introducing our pilots of Alberta to these beautiful towns that they may not have visited before, and let them know what's at the town so they can come on back and visit, and lets the town know about the airport and about the economic development that can happen with the community airport.
After years of flying, James says events like the air show renew her excitement to fly.
It'd be easier to ask me what's not exciting about it. To be up in an airplane and seeing everything below, I can't explain to you the excitement, the freedom you feel. It's a wonderful hobby. It's so exciting.
And these local boys who took in the show would agree.
I saw that yellow copter was flying and it like goes sideways and leftwards and also can stop. We wanted to see the planes and the helicopter fly.
Organizers say they're impressed with the turnout here in Lloydminster.
I am so happy to see everybody here, but I'm not surprised. Everybody loves aviation. So I'm super happy to see everybody turn up like this.
The Alberta Air Tour continues in August with stops in Medicine Hat and Claresholm. They hope to expand and visit more communities in 2023. Another event that was on Lloydminster's weekend schedule was a 20th annual gala hosted by the Lloydminster Region Health Foundation. From the previous 19 galas, the foundation has been able to raise over $3 million total. This year's theme was a secret garden since it was held in June with all the flowers beginning to bloom. Proceeds from the event went towards the Greatest Need Fund to enhance healthcare in the community.
The C6 ventilator is an enhanced ventilator. Our hospital does have a couple already, but there is only one for neonates, and the hospital delivers over 1,000 babies per year. So it really is essential that, over 10% of them statistics will show will need assistance with breathing after birth. So by having another ventilator in place for those neonates, it's really going to help alleviate some of those airlifts and those transfers that need to be taken outside of our community.
The foundation is grateful for how much this gala has grown over the years. Monroe says it's been a huge honor to have Richardson Jewelry sponsor them for this year's event.
So, our community always amazes me. They step up time and time again to provide the enhancements that we need. So our donors and our sponsors, we are so grateful because events like this couldn't happen without their generous support. So thank you to the community, thank you to our donors, thank you to our sponsors. All of this is because of you. And the support is overwhelming. And throughout the COVID pandemic, we still were able to put on some events in a safe manner, and we're just so excited to have everyone back here for our 20th annual Health Foundation Gala.
So far, the fundraising initiative from residents has been great, and they've received strong support for the gala. And it's time now for Retrospect. Here's Blake Nath.
This week in Retrospect. Back in '92, despite a slumping economy, the Hire a Student Summer Job Program shows surprising growth.
Good afternoon, Bonjour, Canada Employment Centre.
With today's bad economy, many Alberta students may worry about ever finding a summer job this year. But that's not the case in Lloydminster. Job postings at the local Hire a Student have actually increased from last year. One employment officer attributes the increase to a few prominent local companies.
I think we can probably attribute that to the bi-provincial upgrader. It's created a lot of needs in the service sector, such as waitering and cooking. Also with the Superstore, it has right there, it created about 200 jobs. And in a community this size, that's bound to make an impact.
There may be an increase to local job postings, but there are fewer students applying for these jobs.
We hope to fill most of them. I don't know if we'll fill all of them, but we hope to fill most of them. We've stepped up promotions. We're doing a lot more public awareness, I guess you could call it, in the community right now, just to get students aware that we're here.
While many students in Edmonton and Calgary are in stiff competition for summer employment, this hire student is doing all it can to promote a surplus of jobs to local students. Darcy Modine, NewsHour.
And it's border time. Back in '97, a group of local thespians and playwrights produced an authentic Lloydminster musical.
Local talent is getting set to hit the border city.
I mean, there's a lot of people in this town that are tremendous writers, performers, singers, and we've got it all. I mean, so I think that will be the big appeal, as people will see themselves. People they know, little stories and histories of Lloydminster that they recognize.
A group of 14 writers and actors have been working on the unique play for the last 6 weeks.
It's considerably different because we didn't start with a script. The script developed as we went along.
Teeny vignettes of life in Lloydminster. It might only be one line or one sound, but it's to support that life in Lloydminster kind of feeling.
Orange beams at sea, they call them border markers, their Pat Gulak's legacy.
Border Time will hit the stage next week.
June 19th, we'll be here at the Imhoff Theatre Gallery in the Bar Colony.
And that's all for this week in retrospect.
Retrospect this week is brought to you by Webb's Ford. Worth your while to drive the extra mile. Webb's Ford in Vermilion.
And now let's take a look at today's agriculture prices. Chuck wagon season is well underway with the first race that took place this past weekend in Yorkton. Our Adil Ahmed has the details in our chuck wagon panel.
Well, with the CPCA season well underway with the Yorkton Classic kicking off this past weekend, I'm now joined by Mr. Greg Buchanan, who is the voice of the CPCA. Greg, thanks so much for coming on and chatting with me a little bit about that today.
Thanks for having me today.
Not a problem, Bucky. Well, the Yorkton Classic kicked off this past weekend from June 3rd to the 5th. What stood out to you mostly about that 3-day weekend?
Well, I think you approach the course as the opening weekend of the season. So a few things come into play there, where a lot of drivers are looking at their spring training, looking to see what horses and where they're at. And some kind of relying on the ones that they relied on last year, and then some actually put some new horses into the fold. And so, example, with those new ones, you're kind of looking to see where they're at in their spring training. And I think you're looking at it for the most part, a lot of drivers coming out of the weekend very happy where they're at, and they have now a weekend off before they head to Poundmaker for 5 days. So they're looking forward to that. The other thing that comes into play for Yorkton, it's the first time in 10 years the CPCA has been in Yorkton. So great to see the fan response, sponsorship response too in Yorkton. We had 3 solid days of racing there, along with the RCMP musical ride, and some tremendous crowds throughout the weekend. So it bodes well for the future of CPCA in Yorkton.
I do want to mention one thing you just said at the end there. Yorkton had the CPCA in town for the first time in 10 years. How was the fan reaction like out there when they had it over there for the 3-day weekend?
Well, tremendous crowds on Friday and Saturday, and and the response from the community too. I think we're really looking forward to the CPCA being out in Yorkton for the next number of years to come. I know there's various reasons that came into the fact that we haven't been there in 10 years, but now things are starting to come together in Yorkton, a brand new grandstand. So it looks great for the future of the CPCA. We'd love to add another more Saskatchewan shows. Like in the past, the CPCA has raced in venues in Saskatchewan like Melfort, Prince Albert, Saskatoon, and Regina. So if we can add Yorkton, add maybe Prince Albert, and add a Saskatoon show, that's the future of the CPCA, and that'll be great to see.
Of course, Todd Baptiste finished second overall in the aggregate results this past weekend. He's somebody that's done really well over the last couple of years. Can you just speak on maybe his level of just how consistent he has been time after time?
Yeah, Todd and his brother Ryan Baptiste kind of share the same barns and not necessarily the same horse, but share the barns. And Todd is just a solid driver. You know, a former Canadian champion, was knocking on the door for a Calgary Stampede Championship a few years ago. It was a runner-up to Logan Gorse. So Todd is one of those many drivers in the CPCA, and we talk about it all the time in the CPCA radio network, that anybody can win day money on a given night. Todd is one that's always knocking on the door for day money. Had a chance a couple of times in the weekend in Yorkton. So expect more of the same from Todd and his brother Ryan going forward in 2022.
Well, of course, now Poundmaker Saskatchewan is next on that list of the CPCA schedule this year. What are you kind of hoping to see moving forward this year with the drivers and the riders?
Yeah, I think more than anything, it's going to be a busy schedule now. As much as we have 3 days in Yorkton now, there's a week off, and a lot of drivers are going to really welcome this week off. They have 5 days in Poundmaker next week, followed that with 3 days of the Wainwright Stampede, 5 days at Onion Lake, and then 9 days of the North American Chuckwagon Championship with a little time off between all those shows. So it is going to be the dog days of summer, as they call it in baseball. We call that in chuckwagon racing, because there's a lot of days off. So it comes down to barn management. You're going to have a deep barn. You're going to have a healthy barn, and try to be, as they say, try to be fast, try to be clean every night out, which is not easy when you have a lot of other drivers kind of nipping at your heels.
Well, certainly it's going to be an exciting time for the riders and drivers moving forward as the rest of the season kind of keeps going with these races. Greg, anything else that you'd like to add?
No, just kind of looking forward to, you know, it's a weekend off for the CPCA, but before you know it, 5 days in Poundmaker. Looking forward to that. Race time on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays at 7 o'clock. Championship Sunday, and a week's time will be at 2 o'clock. So looking forward to that, and then looking forward, before you know it, to Onion Lake for Canada Day weekend, and then the NACC Championship in Lloydminster in July.
Well, Greg, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on today and chatting with me about chuck wagons. I really appreciate you taking time out of the day to chat with me about it.
Always great talking wagons.
It's do or die for the Edmonton Oilers tonight in Game 4 of the Western Conference Final.
That's the same message we've had every single day, which take care of business.
The Oilers are coming off Saturday's 4-2 loss to the Colorado Avalanche, and they trail the series 3-0. The Oilers will be without forward Evander Kane, and he was suspended for 1 game for his hit from behind on Colorado's Nazem Kadri, who is out for the rest of the series. And we're hoping the Oil can kind of turn things around and get their first win of that series. I know Shelby is going to be cheering on tonight. Let's head over to her now for a look at weather.
You're not wrong there, Jace. I definitely am cheering on the Oilers tonight. Hopefully they do make a comeback, but it is pretty sad. It's a sad day right now. I'm hoping, you know, we make this win and then we'll keep a fighting chance. I think both of us are really cheering them on, aren't we? Yeah. Exactly, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But now moving on to temperatures across the provinces here in the central zone. We are seeing those double digits on the Alberta side, but looking still slightly cooler compared to what we have been seeing last week. Whitecourt and Edmonton both just sitting at 12 degrees, 13 down in Red Deer and up in Athabasca, while Rocky Mountain House and Jasper looking slightly warmer at 15 and 16, and Cold Lake is just hitting that 20-degree mark. Switching now to our Saskatchewan side, they are seeing those double digits as well, but as you can see, looking slightly warmer compared to the Alberta side. 18 over in Melfort, while it is 19 up in Meadow Lake. 20 degrees in both Saskatoon and Prince Albert, kind of twinning with Cold Lake there, and North Battleford is the warmest there at 21. Now, going over to our northern zone to kind of check them out. They are looking the warmest they have seen yet. I was saying before that they have been keeping on this warm streak for a while now, especially on the Saskatchewan side where they do look cooled down a bit compared to the rest. But most spots are just reaching that 20-degree point, as you can see, is just sitting at 19. Wilson Lake and Stony Rapids have reached that 20 and 21. Switching now to our Alberta side here, they are seeing those double digits, but not looking as warm as the Saskatchewan side, especially down in this area here with Peace River and Grand Prairie at 13 and 16 degrees. Slavik is at 18, so slightly warmer over in Slave Lake, and the rest are reaching past that 20-point Lake, the Saskatchewan side. Fort McMurray, Fort Chipewyan at 21 and 22, and high levels beating out the rest at 24. Now going over to our southern zone. Well, usually we expect them to look a little bit warmer, but they have cooled down a bit, looking the coolest compared to the rest of the spots of central and northern. Southern is definitely looking a lot cooler. Banff and Calgary have just reached past that 10-degree point, 14 and 15 in Lethbridge and Coronation, while Medicine Hat is looking the warmest there, just at 17. Switching now to our Saskatchewan side, they are seeing some slightly warmer temperatures compared to the Alberta side, with most spots just hitting that 19 mark. 18 over in Estevan, while Swift Current is a couple degrees cooler at 17, and Moose Jaw has just reached 20 degrees. But now going to get back across the region to seeing what we will expect throughout our evening and throughout the night. I think we'll be pretty happy temperature-wise for sure, because we are warming up slightly for our evening lows. We were seeing some slightly cooler temperatures last week, but we are still seeing past that minus mark. We are seeing those plus temperatures, so we can't complain. Isle Cross will be seeing the warmest there with a low of 11 degrees. Most spots will be expecting to see a low of just that 8 mark. Unity will be expected to see a low of 9, and Meadow Lake and Provost will be seeing a low of 7. So we are warming up slightly for our evening lows, and we are all mostly going to be reaching those double digits pretty soon here as we head more into the summer season. And now ending off with our 3-day forecast for here in the border city. We will be seeing a slightly warmer day tomorrow at 20 degrees. We will be seeing a mixture of some sun and clouds, so hopefully we will be seeing a little bit more sun peeking behind those clouds throughout the day. Then Wednesday we'll be seeing a beautiful temperature at 23, so get ready because we are going to see some nice temperatures coming up this week. Thursday we'll see that same temperature, of course, throughout the day, but seeing a high chance of some precipitation once again, so get ready for some more rainfall coming up this week. That's all I got for now. We'll have more news coming up after the break.
I'm so excited to be joined today on Primetime Local News by Jess Moskaluk. Jess, thank you so much for chatting with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Jess, we're talking to you for a number of reasons, and one of them is that you're going to be in our area here later this month at the Centerfield Music Festival. How exciting is that you're going to be performing with Brett Kissel and all kinds of great talent on that lineup?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I've played with Brett more times than I can count, and it's just so good to have live music back. I'm sure I'm not the first or the last person to say that, so it honestly, truly can't come soon enough.
What's it been like to, after having the pandemic? I mean, you know, we can't say that it's over, but at least things are starting to get back to normal. What have the crowds been like that you've been performing to? Are they just so happy to be back and hearing live music?
From what we've done so far, but I have to be honest, we haven't played a ton of shows yet. We're really just getting into, I mean, we're only in, oh my gosh, it's June now, but we're in early June. And, you know, this is really when our summer festival season starts to kind of kick off and ramp up. So I am confident that everyone in the St. Paul area will definitely bring that energy that I've been craving so much.
And what about yourself personally? What have you been working on over the past couple of months and even through the pandemic? Is there lots of new music still coming our way from you?
I have honestly never been busier. So, which is great. We've got brand new music coming out that you can hear next month. We've revamped our entire live show, which you can hear very soon. And I started a project called Handpicked by Jess, which is a style box, similar to something like FabFitFun or the Jilly Box. So we just launched our pre-sale on Friday. So you can learn more about that at www.handpickedbygess.com. That's been a thing that's taken up a lot of my time over the pandemic. And I'm really fortunate that we've built it to a point where it'll take a little less of my time and that my team is built and we've got a system now that I'm back touring again.
Well, tell me a little bit about that, Jess. Is it a subscription type of a service or what exactly is it?
We would love to get it to the point where it is a subscription, but right now it's a one-time purchase. Basically, you get like 60-ish% off of the contents in the box. It really started as something I wanted to do for local businesses that were struggling during the pandemic, you know, being forced to have their doors closed. And I wanted to use my platform to get those physical products into people's hands. And we've seen from these brands how much they appreciate it because they've seen an uptick in their business. And on the flip side, we've seen from my fans how much they love it and how excited they are to learn about some of these new Canadian companies.
So can you give us an example, Jess, of some of the things that would be in the box?
Yeah, so past editions of the box have included everything from coffee and tea to makeup to jewelry to home decor items to clothing. The last edition of the box we did was a partnership exclusively with a Canadian jewelry company called Hilberg and Burke. So the entire box was filled with Hilberg and Burke products. A lot of the things inside the box are actually co-designed by me as well. So a lot of them are limited edition, things that you won't necessarily find. And of course, on top of all that, all the discounts you're already getting, we love to include promo codes in there as well, so that if you do fall in love with an item in the box, or if you'd like to try out some of the other products that the brand carries, you can get them for a special discount.
Okay, so entrepreneur, musician, is there anything else you're going to be adding into your portfolio here in the next little while?
Sure hope not.
Well, Jess, when it comes to playing music and getting back, and like obviously you're going to be playing with Brett, but you have other dates over the summer. What are some of the things that you do to kind of keep everything balanced? Because obviously you are a busy person, and you know people have lots of demands for you. So, are there any tips that you could even give people who are going through some of the stress, you know, coming out of the pandemic and still dealing with a lot of things in their life? What are some of the things that you might do to balance and help balance the things you do in life?
What a great question. A big one for me is time management. That makes things feel a little bit less overwhelming. I don't have any routine to my day. There's just no possible way that that can happen with my schedule. But I have a to-do list and I break it up into manageable chunks. So like I'll do these things on Tuesday, these things on Wednesday, these things on Thursday, whatever those things may be. And it's just constantly changing in my notes app on my iPhone. But other than that, I love at the end of the day when I'm home, I love to just have dinner with my husband, and that's kind of our time to like connect and unwind. There's, you know, we just sit down and watch a TV show in the evening, and at a certain point, I try to have work shut off by 8 or 9 p.m.
Well, Jess, before I let you go here, I just want to find out heading through the summer. I know we touched on it a little bit, but music-wise and tour-wise, what can we expect from you for the next few months?
A lot. I wish I could say more, but like I said, new music coming next month, which I'm really, really excited about. Make sure you're following me on socials so that you hear any sneak peeks that we might give you. And we have some really big announcements in the tour world coming very soon.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for chatting with us, Jess. We look forward to seeing you at the Centerfield Music Festival in St. Paul here, June 17th and 18th. And good luck with everything. You have so much on the go. I don't know how you quite do it, but we'll keep following you on your social media as well. And we'll see you, like I said, in a couple of weeks.
I can't wait. Thank you so much.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
I'm here with Lloydminster's own country pop singer-songwriter, Jordan Pollard. Thank you so much for being here this afternoon, Jordan. How's your day going so far?
Thank you so much for having me. It's going great. The sun is shining. It doesn't look too windy outside, which is awesome. So it's a great day so far.
That's the one thing I noticed since I moved here. It is always windy.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with it. And it's also super dry out, so the dust is everywhere. It also doesn't help with my voice. It's a great time, but it's all good. Hopefully we get some rain.
Hopefully. It's looking like Monday we might get a little bit, but we will see. But the reason why we're here today is because you have a brand new single out called If I Got You. It came out just a few weeks ago and it is a jam. And we're definitely going to be talking more about it here. But first, spring is here. Summer is pretty much here and right around the corner. And you're going to be hitting a few stages, and you already have over the last couple of months, which is very exciting. Now, after 2 years of very limited shows, how is it feeling to know you're back out again? You got your audience, you got your fans. How's it feeling?
It's super exciting. You know, the first show that I kind of had back was at the Lloydminster Chuck Wagons last summer. And the atmosphere was so much different than I'd ever imagined. Everyone was just so excited to be out again. Everyone was happy. There was no fights. Like, it was just, everyone was having such a great time. The same thing happened when I played at Band in the Sand in Vermilion this past April. Just such a happy atmosphere. Everyone's just happy to be back out. And I feel the exact same way. The adrenaline rush is back on when I'm back on stage, and I feel like I can finally be myself again, which is super awesome.
That sounds really, really exciting. Now, from my understanding, If I Got You is your first song to come out this year, but it's only one of a couple more coming out later this year. And it's also leading towards an EP in the new year, hopefully. Now, this new single and these new songs, you've expressed that they're kind of the start of a new chapter for you in your musical journey. So, with these new singles and this exciting new next step in your career, what is next for you?
Yeah, well, I think that throughout COVID, I really got time to reflect and kind of see who I am as an artist and really pick songs that I could produce or record with my producer, Bart McKay, that really suited who I was and really kind of went with the kind of who I am, basically songs that kind of represent me in a authentic way. And my last album kind of came out when I was 18, so I'm more grown up now, turning 21. And these new songs that I'm putting out, the one song is super timeless, and I think that so many people are going to be able to relate to it. And the other song is just about going out with your girlfriends and having a lot of fun. And there's more songs to come. So we're planning music videos and kind of getting all of the promotion and marketing ready for that. And I'm so excited for everyone to hear them.
I'm very excited to hear them as well. That is going to be amazing. So everyone's got to keep their eye out on all your socials for all of that stuff, which we'll talk about here in a second. Now, what are you hoping that people take away from If I Got You and your new songs coming out later this year?
Yeah, these are super fun songs. I hope that people are able to blast them in their car and roll the windows down and just have lots of fun, get lost in them. These are songs that I'm looking forward to playing at festivals. They're super fun. You can dance to them. And I'd really love to inspire young artists to reach out and get out of their comfort zone and release the songs that they'd like to release and just be creative and have fun with releasing music and promoting their stuff. So that's just kind of what I'm leaning towards. I'm also hoping to help out a lot of nonprofit initiatives with these song releases, and those are kind of my interests that kind of both come at play when releasing music. So
That is very exciting. Really looking forward to seeing where all of that goes for you and listening to these songs. Now, we got to talk about the song itself, If I Got You. It is such a perfect blend of country pop. It is so fresh for spring and summer. You did not pen this song yourself, but you own it. This is your song. So tell us a bit about the song and your experience with what the song means to you.
yeah, so the song was pitched to me, and it was actually written by one of my favorite singer-songwriters, Tennille Towns, who I'm sure everyone knows around here, Gordy Sampson, as well as Josh Keir. And as soon as I heard this song, I knew that it was a song that I wanted to record. It was so fun, perfect to release during spring 2022. And my producer, Bart McKay, absolutely loved it. And there were a few songs that I kind of liked a bit more, but he really pushed me to kind of get out of my comfort zone and record the song, make it my own. And I'm so glad that I did. We recorded the music video this past March. It debuted on the Saskatchewan Country Music Awards as well. And it's just a super fun song, and it really suits my voice. And I love that I can kind of show my performance style within it.
You definitely showcase a lot of greatness in that song. It is so perfect. So where can everybody find If I Got You?
You can find it, well, you can look on my YouTube channel, the music videos there. You could also find it on Spotify, iTunes, and Amazon Music. Yeah, check out my socials if you guys would like to. I'll be posting covers and also little snippets of songs, like previews that I'll be promoting and releasing later on.
That's wonderful. So go buy, download it, stream it, watch it everywhere. It's If I Got You by Jordan Pollard. Is there anything else you want to mention or talk about today, Jordan?
I don't think so. Just thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed chatting with you today, Sarah.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Ending off with taking another quick look at your 7-day forecast here. We will be seeing those 20 degrees coming up this week with 20 tomorrow, 23 on both Wednesday and Thursday. So get ready for some warm days coming up there. We will be seeing a high chance of some precipitation ending off the week, but we will be getting close to 30 degrees for this weekend. So get ready because we will be seeing another beautiful weekend coming up here in the border city and seeing that warm streak continue on into next week.
Awesome. Thanks so much for that, Shelby, and thank you for joining us for our first hour of Primetime Local News. Our second hour continues next.